You there. Printed your first Warhammer, eh? Quit smiling and paint it. That's right. You'll be shamed if you don't paint your Warhammer.
Only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes, a curiosity. Dust in the...
Doth arthritis be worth a mid-paint job? Or perhaps you prefer something better?
Welcome back to Print Hammer. We are doing something incredible today, mind-blowing even. We are looking at an amazing video. We're going to get an army painted on Fiverr by multiple artists. We're going to go through all the pain of that process, not with just one model, with the whole army. Tyranids getting painted up because I can't paint worth shit. Can you paint? Hell no. So watch this video. We're going to be looking for an artist. We're going to just go with miniature painting. Keep it nice and simple there. We are looking for something within a reasonable price. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to go with someone who has a few jobs, but not a lot under their belt. You know, it's a little bit cheaper rate than some of the other options that we had there, so it'll be a good testing ground to sort of get us going here. Just going to let him know that I'm interested in his services. So I have sent this guy a message, basically an intro kind of deal, like, this is what I'm trying to do. He did show interest, so I gave him the lists. We got a quote back here for all three lists, all three under 75 euros, so that is, like $100 somewhere around there, and then we added shipping. I accepted, so 120 is incredibly cheap for that. Hopefully this is a standard that he feels comfortable painting at, and we're excited. We didn't break nothing there. So we're going to start with these zoanthropes here. Pretty much completely undone. The paint scheme, I'll start with that and just say that it is pretty darn close to what the expectations were. The warriors, 6 of them, and 3 raveners. So all undone. Carnifex, unfinished, very sad. Then the shining star of this order, honestly, we ended up with 10 beautiful, completely done gargoyles. And these were kind of used as the buffer, like, look, I'm working on stuff. Anyways, free gargoyles, can't complain that much. We'll go with a timeline of 4 months there. The customer service was, we got to go with 2 out of 5 stars there. Lost contact at the end. Paint job, I gotta go, it's a 3.5. If I didn't have so much negative, I might even go up to 4 stars. But since it didn't work out, I'm gonna stick with 3.5 there. The cost was $126, hell of a deal for the amount of miniatures that were supposed to be painted there. That ended up being refunded. Overall rating, 2 out of 5 stars. Hate losing my time, hate it. So we're back with user 103. We've got his miniatures here, finished product. That was $124, great deal on the paint job. Unfortunately, it was canceled, so that was refunded. That does mean no tip as well for that. The materials for these, since these are painted, that was $10. And then we also spent $25 shipping it out. So $35 total for 150 points roughly, somewhere around there. So that's a pretty good trade-off. And we're back to the Fiverr homepage. We are going to get back to miniature painting searching here. So we got Nicholas G here, 70 reviews. Pretty fucking good amount. Only one at 3 stars. Very clean jobs here. Oof. I despise that dragon. Everything else looks pretty darn clean. Okay, so I sent a pretty similar message here. Got a message back that he was interested. So I sent him the list and we are just waiting on a quote. So we did get a response back here and a quote for all 3 lists. 369 was the agreed on. That's in our budget, so we're good, we're happy. Seems like he's gonna get it back fast too. We're just gonna go right out and say it, the paint job is just not on. Judging by the other results we've gotten, I would say that this scheme was kind of a miss. I don't want to say the word failure, but for the most expensive paint job, I'd also say that the quality is almost immediately out of the box lower. Now this isn't all the models here, so let's not judge the work by just one. Parasite and Mortrex, they're all, it looks about the same quality, not gonna lie. Just gonna get through all of these. Here's the Hive Guard that we had with him. Biovore here, the new one, again, same sort of quality. We do have one model that was what we paid for, sort of the premium on this. And the Norn Emissary here is It is definitely painted to a higher quality level than the other stuff, but again, looking right here at the rock, we couldn't opt for any gray. We couldn't make this a stone or anything, any kind of color that isn't black to turn this into something, a real structure. What I think really happened here is this model, the Norn, came out at the quality that I might expect from everything else or just beneath that. And then I would have expected this to be significantly better quality. All right, so look at we're back here in this spot. You've been, I don't know where this is at in the video, but continuity. You know this place, and that means that you feel comfortable here with me. That is normally a thing that you should have to convince people of. The paint job's decent. The paint job's not that decent. So let's stick with the positive here, right? First one, timeline, 2 months, back, bang, bang. The customer service, I'd say a 4-star with this one. Paint job, 2 stars. I'm not gonna really hold back on this one. Like I said, we've discussed the issues. I feel like Simon Cowell. I can't fucking paint worth a shit, but I can tell you that this wasn't a $400 paint job. I know what being $34 tip too. Still gave a tip, huh? I'm not that Jewish. We're allowed to be anti-Semitic here. Rating 2.5 out of 5 stars. That's the overall experience. I'd say if they got on scheme and lowered the price to a reasonable amount based on where their skills are at, this could be a 5-star job even with the talent level that they're at and still make good money. We're back with Nicholas G's stuff here. This did come back the quickest. The paint job, obviously not the one we're the most impressed with, but we'll start with the price. It was the highest price, $423 starting price. The tip also was another $34 there. And then we got $30 in mats. And then the shipping cost for this one was another 20 bucks. So low on the shipping cost here. Everything else, pretty high. So total cost there, $507. And we are looking at 750 points painted. Is this working? Am I doing the animation work here, or are my hands just out with it? Looking at finding a deal here. We are still within budget, but I did some mathing there, and we need to do a little better than last time. Okay, so we've got Last Raven Gaming, 33 reviews, 5.0, 2 orders in queue, not too bad. Can't tell what that is. That's just a gray wall. This is the one where I was just like, look at this thing. Look at these guys. If he's capable of painting this, then we just need to summon a fraction of his talent for my army. So yeah, we're gonna message him. Okay, so I sent a copy paste, same message here. This guy's interested immediately. So I gave him the lists and we're gonna wait for a quote back. Okay, so he came back with a quote. It was just $100. Knew about the 3D printing, and he'd seen a little bit about the channel and asked if I could help him with some 3D printing stuff. So we're sort of doing an exchange. I feel like that's fine with Fiverr. So $100 through the Fiverr, and then the rest was just handled by 3D printing work. I just shipped it over. I'll ship it over with the stuff that's in this order. Perfect. So $100 accepted. Easy money. We're gonna just get straight into it here. We're looking first at someone small here. We got a Lichter. This is my first time seeing these guys, and oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Let's get the brood lord out. Did he survive the travel? He only took one small blow here. You see him all fixed up though. This guy as well looks so much better. Great shading. It's beautiful. Oh, we got the Victor here. Oh my goodness. I mean, this model actually looks fantastic, fully painted up. Like, it is supposed to be a little bit of that S&M side, but it's just the only Neurolictor that was available.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Model, like something that someone worked on very hard, not just a quick knock.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
This is its own model, and it's really nice painted up. I mean, there's a lot of effort put into this, especially.
You stink. You smell like beef and cheese.
These look great as well. The carapace on these, I didn't even notice on the other ones. I can see the red a lot more. You can just tell when you get a higher quality artist, there won't be imperfections in ways that there might be in other ones. They just don't accept that. That's not in their nature. So the big figure, I think we agreed on a little bit of extra effort on this one specifically, but with the quality that these have been already, I would be happy with just that quality, and it is just Warhammer. But this, I've never had a model painted really well that was mine. I've never been really great at painting, and I know I can get better, but absolutely perfect. The best model I've ever received. paint wise, and I'm very, very happy with it. Obviously. Okay, this is the one I was most excited to do. Last Raven Gaming, still selling on Fiverr. So please, if you need any work done, let's work with the in order here. So the timeline was 3 months. That's a pretty good turnaround time. It's customer service 5 stars. That's the great part that goes along with this. Always responsive, kept me updated with the process. Paint job 4 out of 5 stars. 5 stars should be reserved for the perfect paint job, right? So within this amount of money, incredible, 10 out of 5 stars. But as a paint job, 4 out of 5. Cost $177 plus a $51 tip. So honestly, incredible deal for how many miniatures got painted there. Overall rating 5 out of 5 stars. Easy, easy. Last Raven Gaming again. I'll have the link to him down there. We got $177 for this. All the miniatures that you see up here. I mean, this really thickened us up. The most models painted, and also the highest quality painting done, and for the lowest price that we had finished work, the second lowest quoted work. So $51, obviously the highest tip there. And then for the mats here, material cost $25, and then another $20 for the shipping. Total cost for these miniatures right here is $273, and that is for 620 points. So that is a really good deal, especially for the quality of paint job that we got done there and the amount of involved work. All these other ones, this might have been equal related work quality and ratio of paint to points, but paint to fucking pain, different ratio. Low pain. We're back here looking for another miniature painter. We're gonna look for something a bit more off the beaten path. We got Malka V minis here. Shipped somewhere, what does it say? Bulgaria, huh? Language, English, Bulgarian. But his stuff is pretty well done. I wouldn't say this is like amazingly done. This one's like incredible quality there. And that just because he has a low amount of reviews, 6. So this is exactly what we were looking for. We're gonna send him a message, see if we can't work something out here. All right, so send him a message here, standard stuff. He did show a lot of interest and response, so probably available right now. And we're gonna send him the list and see what kind of quote we get here. So he did send his offers back, 250, 300, 250. He also offered to paint everything for 700. So we're gonna go ahead and accept $300 for list number 3, and we are sending it off to Bulgaria. Sofia, Bulgaria. Good luck, package. If you're wondering where the miniature for Malcolm V Minis is, it doesn't exist. They never came back. No unboxing was done. The timeline took about 3 months, maybe another month or 2 worth of like checking the post office, asking about things, wishing the minis were here, but they're not, they're gone. So $303, that was refunded. Customer service score, paint job, rating, nothing on all those. You can't, I'm not gonna leave reviews. I'm not gonna mar this guy because he lives in a country that does not get shipping. Well, we can learn from this experience, and probably not the best idea to be shipping stuff to somewhere that doesn't have really good international shipping setup. Rating, nothing. No rating given. But a hassle and a half. For this one, we are going to be searching out the local lad. So we reached out to him on Facebook. We're not going to go to our Facebook. That's weird. So we're going to stay here. We went to him on Facebook. He is a very high quality level painting. I've seen some of his stuff. I don't have it right now. You won't see it overlaid. I'm not going to get it. Deal with it. We did establish just over $300. We're going to do a tip as well. Hopefully this should be a safe thing. This should be a good front for comparison. Do you want to go online? Do you want to go in person? Probably in person normally, but you know, maybe we'll be surprised. Last but least, I mean, let's be honest here. The local lad letting us down. I've been let down as expected a few times in this process, and I wouldn't say let down so much as just like understandably meeting some setbacks, right? Because this is just a lot to have your army painted by multiple different people, but this one was supposed to be the sure thing, the local lad that others can vouch for. Timeline, 1.5 years to get these miniatures back. The customer service, I mean, I gotta give it a 0, but I'll say 1 out of 5 because I think that's the normal lowest. So 1 out of 5 stars. The response was there sometimes, always delayed. and then towards the end just sort of like gone before I finally just had to be like, all right, I know where you live. I'm gonna just be there in a non-threatening way to pick up my guys, my homies. The paint job, honestly, this is the shining star of the whole process. The paint job is great. If you pick up one that is completely done, the basing is done on it, which I didn't ask for, didn't need to hassle yourself with that. And just everything about the paint job is very high quality. I'd say 4 out of 5 stars is a fair statement there. The cost, about $350, I think is what we agreed on. And then I was going to also have a tip involved in there. That was refunded for $350. There was no cost, but we only got 10 gaunts, and that's it. I printed those things, so even if they're replaceable, if I believe at any time I can get them back, I'm gonna keep, believing in that. So lots of effort, 1 out of 5 stars overall. All right, it probably won't even look like anything got added into the shot there, but we've got the local lads stuff over here. It is just one 10-man squad of Neurogants. Total cost was about $350, I think we agreed on, somewhere around there. Tip was gonna be in there, so I don't remember. I didn't want to go through it too much pain in the process. So refunded all of that, so canceled there. There was no shipping cost. The mats cost for those, $5, the lowest mats cost, and because there was no shipping cost, it is total cost at $5. Yeah, and we got 85 points. I think that's what a Neurogant squad is. So $5 for 85 points. The best ratio of points, the worst ratio of pain to points. So this is the full army when it's done. It didn't add much there, but when you have it all in front of you, and the total cost will be $870 for everything you see here, and that is for 1,600 points. 50 cents a point, so 2,000 point army, $1,000. If you didn't do any of the work yourself other than the printing that you did and all the involved work. Maybe you want to paint some of the army yourself. I don't know. We learned something here.
You there. I'm back. Like and subscribe for more Warhammer 40k 3D printed content and the sweet serenading voice of pretentiousness.